Hey everyone, it's Jason again with Elder Needs Law, elderneedslaw.com. And again, I start off every show by saying I'm just an elder law attorney. I try to put out a lot of good information out there, but I realize that there's lots of resources out there that are related to what I do. And for that, I try to bring in the professionals to speak about the services and the products that benefit my elderly clients or my disabled clients. And today I am thrilled to have David Michaels on the show with us. He is with Personal Living Alert. That's personallivingalert.com. They are a medical alert system product provider. And David, welcome. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about what you guys do.
Jason, hey, first I want to say thanks so much for having me on. I truly appreciate this opportunity to talk to you and your clients and your prospects and things like that. All right, so my name is David, and I am with Personal Living Alert. And as you mentioned, we are all about medical alerts and keeping seniors safe in their homes for as long as they want to be there. That's what we do every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's dovetails so nicely with what I do. Now, I do something called Medicaid planning, where we help people get access to resources to help pay for them to stay in home, to help pay for them to pay for home health care. And so this really is such a nice complementary product, because what you're doing is the same thing. Because if they're not safe at home, then they have to be in a facility. And that's not everybody's first choice. That's often their last choice. So to talk about the products, how do they keep our senior citizens safer?
I couldn't agree more with you, Jason. I mean, most of my clients have been in their house for 35, 40 years, and that's where they want to stay. They don't want to go, whether they've got the money or don't have the money, that's where they want to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we help them stay there, right? We have medical alert systems. I used to say it's like that other guy's alert system, but on steroids, right? We do have in the home units that work exclusively in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got one for your mom and she wanted to get the mail or the newspaper off the driveway, they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
It's only in the house, and it's really meant for the person who only wants a little, like maybe if you're single and you don't want a little extra protection while you're at home by yourself,
right?
Or if you know the only time you're going out is if you have an aide or a relative going out with you.
That makes
right?
sense.
That is when those are. Then we also have the traditional pendants.
Mm-hmm.
These are really cool. This one is the smallest one on the market. It's about 40% smaller than the traditional pendant.
Got it.
What's really cool about these and what we have nowadays is we have pendants that some have fall detection, some don't, depending on the need. Most people do not need fall detection because unless you become incapacitated, you can push a button.
Right.
But they also have other features. We have some with apps. So if you have somebody that's a wanderer, as an example, you in real time, you can track that person and you know where that device is, because we know where that device is. You get and the apps are free, and you just download the app and you can track that person no matter where they are.
And it's literally like the Find My Friend feature on the iPhone, but it's find my grandma or find my mom, and it's
exactly
no matter where she goes, with GPS pinpoint accuracy, we can go find her.
You got it.
That's great.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And the pendants are great for the super senior, right? They're the easiest thing to use. You're just pushing a button. There's nothing else that they have to do but just push this button right here. All right.
And then what happens when you press the button?
Well, and we'll get into that, but on all of our devices, because I've got a couple of other really cool ones that nobody else has got to show you.
Sure.
But I'll touch on that. On all of our devices, it's answered basically the same way. You'll get something like, Jason, this is David, Sue, Paul, whoever, from Personal Living Alert. Are you okay? Now, there are three kind of categories of answers you can do. You can say, I'm just testing, or it went off by mistake. Not a problem. You can say, you know what? I've been watching, we're all here in this pandemic, staying inside. I've been watching 16 hours of Netflix and my legs are tired, right? It's not a medical emergency. Just if you can call my friend, we'll call that person, have them come over and give you a hand to get up.
Okay.
Or if you're in any kind of distress, we will just send EMS right there.
Okay.
And with the units that have fall detection, if you fall and you become incapacitated, we always ask twice. We ask the first time, we ask the second time in case that person didn't hear us the first time.
Sure.
If you don't respond the second time, we send EMS directly to the pendant because
Wow.
we know where that is. So we send them right there. And of course, we do notify family members and the people on the contact list of what's going on because they need to know.
Right.
So that's how they work. And then now we've got these really cool systems. So we've got things for the stay at home. We've got things, the traditional pendants, which are fantastic because of their ease of use.
Right.
And they're really good for the people who may not have that the dexterity in their hands, or they may not be comfortable with super modern technology, or that's all they want. I mean, from a price perspective, those are great.
Right.
But we also have now some really cool watches.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah. This one, I mean, is super thin, kind of looks like the
Apple Watch.
You can say that. I can't say that probably.
Okay.
You're the attorney, not me.
Yeah.
This one looks like the competitor to the Apple Watch that's out there, which you could probably say, but I may not be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But what these are really for the 65, 70-year-old and a little bit older who understand that they need help, but do not want the stigma of a pendant.
Right.
So they could put the watches on, and with some of them, like this one, it does have the fall detection feature.
Yeah.
But most of the time they have to press the button and then they're going to have to swipe.
Okay.
And if you're no good at swiping, that's what it says normally for the younger, more styling senior who swiped other things and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
Right. This one is actually really cool because this one, yes, you have to swipe, but this one also comes with up this way, a red button on the side, which is a help button. So you don't have to swipe to get help.
Yeah.
You can just push the button.
Right.
To get help. Now these are what your senior clients are going to know. It's going to be like Dick Tracy. You're going to talk through the watch. So you're going to have this on and you're going to be talking through the watch. And again, it's going to answer the same way. We're going to find out how you are. We're going to triage the whole thing through the watch, and we'll dispatch the appropriate people.
That's great.
Yeah, and that's the Reader's Digest how they work. I go with the KISS theory. It's Evil, Simple, Sweetheart. So the more complicated they are, the less people are going to use them. We do protect a lot of nightstands because people just put them there. Yeah. But with the watches, we're hoping to hit that market that know they need it and understand that they're important.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that makes total sense. I work with a lot of clients where, my client is the elderly individual, but I'm working with their adult child who may live down the street and may live in another state. So to have something that's notifying them in real time that something's going on with mom or dad or grandma or grandpa is a phenomenal service to be providing. What does this stuff cost?
I think we've got something for everybody's budget.
Yeah.
We can do an in-home unit that is cellular based. So it's our cellular service, not your clients or anybody else's.
Right.
They don't need a landline with fall detection.
Right.
$30 a month.
Okay.
Right. The watches get up there are the more expensive side. They're anywhere from $45 to $50 a month.
Okay.
And then with the watches, they're great, but and like I said, and there's the pendants are in between there. It just depends on what your needs are and what your budget is. But I would tell you between $30 and $50 a month is what you should do.
Okay.
What separates us from our competition, I'll tell you that is we don't charge for the product.
Okay.
We don't charge for the product. We don't charge for activation. We don't charge for installation.
Right.
It's strictly, the monthly, which we do bill quarterly, but it's strictly the monthly, monitoring fee. And that's all it is. So it's
great.
super affordable. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really important stuff, helping people stay in the home longer. If someone's interested in buying one of these products or asking questions, is there a good phone number they can call?
There's a great phone. And I truly appreciate it. There's a great phone number for us is our main line, which is 754-220-9800. 9290. Again, that's
And
754-220-9290.
And you and I are in South Florida, but this is not limited to South Florida, right? You're statewide, you're nationwide. Anyone who has an elderly parent or grandparent in the United States, in the state of Florida or local, you got them covered. Is that right?
Absolutely. Our units are great. They work anywhere in the United States with their cellular coverage. So as you mentioned, so your mom lives here in Florida,
Yeah.
right? And near you, but you've got a brother in California.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? All she has to do is take it with her. And
Right.
because we know where the device is, we know where mom is.
Right.
And
That's
we,
terrific.
and if she's single and she goes to Montana to visit a boyfriend and Texas to visit another, California to visit another, she's still protected no matter where she goes. So yeah, it's all good.
David, thank you very much for sharing all this stuff with us. I'm going to put your website, personalllivingalert.com, in the show notes. I'm also going to put that phone number down there. And we're going to put this on our website and the YouTube page. And if people want to get in touch with you or the company, I'm going to give them the ability to do that directly. They don't have to go through me. I think this is great stuff that anyone who's got an elderly, any friend or relative that they care about needs to be giving you guys a call. Thank you for the work that you're doing, keeping our senior citizens safer and in their home longer. Thank you very much for being here, David. Is there anything else? If you wanted to add anything else, please do. And again, thank you.
I just want to say, Jason, I truly appreciate the opportunity. Getting the information out is the key. We're published in many different newspapers and things like that. It's just trying to get the information out, because seniors, they have to understand that it's not complicated. It's not a daunting task. It takes me 15 minutes over the phone. They're protected within a couple of days. We have to ship it out to them, and they're good. And the kids know it. Mom knows it. Everybody knows it. They're safe, and that's what's important.
Thanks for the work you're doing. Keep it up.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.